Hey friends, welcome to Rhubarb Patch Studio. I'm Leah Noel. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. Spring has sprung over here. We're getting some really beautiful weather. It's late April. I'm not sure when this video will air, but right now it's end of April. And we're finally getting leaves on the trees, and I'm watching the birds every day, and I can see them flying around with nesting materials in their mouths and big wads full of like worms, and so that's been really fun. And we have a swamp behind us, behind our house, and the frogs came out a couple weeks ago, so we've been just really enjoying listening to those at night. We've got spring peepers and leopard frogs, from what I can tell. So they're really fun to listen to, and I've been feeling just nostalgic a little bit because I grew up listening to the sound of frogs at night, and it's just it's a happy sound. So that's been exciting. Yeah, I'm in the same space as last video. I don't normally think it's a super great idea to film with such a bright light behind me, but it seemed to work okay last video, so I'm just gonna keep doing this for now. All right, so I actually have notes today. I'm very put together. So just to give you a brief overview of everything that I have to share with you today, I've got 4 fully finished objects, or FFOs. I have 5 WIPs, or works in progress, to share with you. I will be sharing some of my purchases, which I don't normally do, but I just want to show you some things that I got that I think you will be interested in. And then I've got some solid plans coming up that I want to share. Some plans are like in the immediate future, and then some are looking ahead to later in the year. So that's our overview. I'm looking around. I've got everything just kind of piled around me. So, okay. I think let's start with the fully finished objects. The first one I'm going to share with you, I don't have in person because I've already sent it off to my friend. Earlier this month, my husband and I attended my friend's wedding. It was so wonderful. It was so nice to get away with my hubby for a little while. We didn't have a super long time to hang out in that region, but where the wedding was. But it was nice to just get away and have just a great time. It was great. So I showed my finish of this in the last video. This is Strawberry House by the Scarlett house, and this is the cover photo. I stitched mine on 36 count petite 4 linen by Wabi Sabi Designs with my own thread, and this is a picture of the fully finished object. I sent this off to my friend after the wedding because they had requested no gifts at the wedding, so I knew that there wasn't going to be like a gifts table that I could drop it off at, and it was a big event. So anyway, I just logistically, it was going to make more sense to send it to them in the mail, so that's what I did. But they received it and they both love it, and so some of the customizations that I did. In the roof, I put their initials. In the door, I put the year. So 2-4 is in the door. I changed the coloration of the dog to match their dog as much as I could. It's kind of tricky with just a few stitches, but it's the spirit of the dog. And that's it. I just put my my initials symbol and just the initial symbol in the bottom right corner of the design, and that's it. I framed this in a just standard tabletop frame. I didn't think that it was my favorite frame to go with, but I didn't give myself enough time to order a custom frame, which is what I would prefer to do. But it works. I just couldn't put any glass in it because there's no room. When you frame with a tabletop frame, there's usually not enough room for you to put your needlework and the glass. So anyway, that's that finish. Sorry. Okay. The next fully finished thing, here, let's go on this side, is called It Rubs the Lotion on Its Skin. For those of you who do not, or who are not familiar with this quote, it's from a movie and it's kind of a psychological thriller. My husband and I say it to each other sometimes, kind of as like a, I don't know, like a stop arguing with me and just do what you need to do kind of a thing, which is, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, this is another tabletop frame. I just laced it and put it in. There's no glass. I am currently displaying this in our bathroom because I literally want it as a reminder to put lotion on my hands because I always forget, even though I need it. And then like I just I put the lace, I laced it up on foam core and I shoved it in the frame, and then I just covered it with the stock image that comes in the frame, just to keep it somewhat clean, but like, I don't know. It's a frame job that is not necessarily meant to last the ages. It's just for until we get tired of it. I don't know. This is by the Witchy Stitcher. I did not stitch the border, I just stitched the words. This is on 32 count farm eggs, which is a Kitten Stitcher exclusive linen. And I stitched it 2/2 with Lava Rocks floss by Color and Cotton. It's one of my favorite flosses. Actually, let me get up really close. I don't know if you can see how purple it is. It's kind of purpley, but all right, that's it. Put that one away. Okay, I'm trying to be quiet. Okay, 2 more fully finished objects. Move things out of the way here. All right, this one has been a long time coming. All right. Yay. Okay, this is called Words to Live by Love, and I ordered this frame on Etsy. Honestly, I can't recommend the company that I ordered from because I didn't have the best experience with it. The frame itself is lovely. You can see it's a really pretty frame. I actually ordered the same frame in white for a previous finish. And I used a different company for this frame, and I really liked the other company better for a few different reasons, but so I just laced the back. I just laced it. I find that if I need a really straight edge, lacing actually works the best for me. Before I get into that, this is stitched on 40 count Fog by Picture This Plus using one thread of Winter, I think it's called Winter Sea floss by Color and Cotton, 1/2. I actually adopted this WIP from Amy. Amy loves toads. She had stitched to about, I don't know, up here. I think she might have got like almost halfway, maybe a third of the way through, and then I just did the rest. And yeah, it came out really well. So I have one more to show you, and this one I used another frame from the same company, and I haven't fully put it together yet, so I just wanted to I want to tell you about my process. So okay, so I laced this one, and it's going to go in this frame, so you can kind of see it's got glass and a spacer. So did the last one. I'm gonna put this down here. The reason I don't have it put together is because of one of the things that I just am frustrated with about this company that I used. It's just not the easiest to put together. So when I do my framing, I usually just lace the back, and I use a lot of back and forth, like they're very close together, you can see. And I always pick the same line to anchor the thread. And I just use a sewing thread, like a sewing, it's, I think, literally natural cotton sewing thread. And I just go back and forth. And I find that when I have a really straight edge that I need to keep straight in the frame, that this allows for some wiggle room. I don't pin on the sides when I need a really straight edge. And I know I've heard other stitchers, I heard other stitchers will use pins when they need a straight line, but I find it to be more frustrating that way. So when you lace like this, you can just like put some pressure on your fabric and just kind of like push it over, and the lacing in the back just kind of like accommodates for those different pressures, and it will just kind of even itself out. So that's how I do my framing, and it's a little time consuming, but it's really not that terrible. I actually did all 3 of these, or was it 4? I think I might have done all 4 in one day, if not 3, all 3 of these in one day. So this is Home of the Brave, I think. Home of the Brave by the Drawn Thread. Drawn Thread is one of my favorite designers, if not the favorite. But I stitched this on a 32 count Whisper, I believe, by Zweigart. It's a printed fabric. It's very light blue. I used my own floss colors, and the white doesn't show up very well on this fabric. But I didn't super care, I guess, on this one exactly. This is my initial symbol and the year. So, okay. That was a long segment. Okay. So those were all of my fully finished objects, and I don't think I'll be finishing, like fully finishing much more in the near future, so okay. All right, so now I will show my works in progress, or my WIPs, and the first one is Portuguese bird sampler. This is what the model looks like. This is by Barbara Anna Designs. I am doing a complete color conversion. I'm using different fabric, totally different flosses. I kind of I stuck with the spirit of the design, but I just used very bright colors, and look at this, you guys. I have a board and clips and everything. Oh, so I'm also going to show you where I was. So this is where I was the last time that you saw it, and here I am now. Yay. Okay, so I take this one traveling with me. So when my husband and I went to my friend's wedding earlier this month, this is the only project that I took, because I stitch it in hand, and there's a lot of fill-in stitching. So okay, I put it on this board, and now I don't think I can get it very close to the camera. So when I was on the plane, I stitched the borders because those are pretty easy. I don't need to look at the chart or anything. And otherwise, I worked on filling in this body. I filled in some of the wing. I filled in these colors. I finished filling in this flower. So all the colors in that flower. I gave her a face and hair. I started on, oh, I gave him a face and hair. He has no eyeball yet. Yeah, she has no eyeball either. Okay. What else? That might be it for this one. So this is on 36 count lilac something by Lakeside Linens. I stitch in hand. The border is all with one strand over two. Some of the elements in here are also just one strand, but most of the design part I really wanted to pop and be rich with color, so I'm using 2 strands over 2. This is 100% Color and Cotton floss, my own selection. Sorry, there's a bug. Let's see. I think, you won't be able to see very well, but I did finish this border. This border is my least favorite border to stitch. I don't know what it is about it, but I just don't like it. Don't like stitching it. It looks pretty, It's just not fun to stitch. I don't know. This one's coming along really well. This is a huge project. I don't think the dimensions are on here, but it's huge. So big. Big one. Did I tell you everything about it? I think so. All right. So I've been taking this traveling, although it's really not, I can't stitch it in the car because in the car, like I just can't stitch on linen in the car. Okay, next. Next, I stitched on Ragnarok by Long Dog Samplers. There are 16 pages. I started this as a leap day start, so I'll do 4 pages a year, and it'll be done by next leap day. I'm also stitching the negative. Let me show you. Oh, here's where it was last. You saw it. And this is another one that I'm stitching in hand. So this is where it is now. I have finished a whole page. So the page I was working on is about right here, I think. And so that whole page is finished. I'm really enjoying how it's coming out as I'm stitching the negative. So it's charted to be stitched where all the black is. That's where your floss is supposed to go, but I'm actually stitching where all the white is. That's what I mean by stitching the negative. And by doing that, I think I forgot to tell you this last time, but by doing that, I'm taking the stitch count from 64,700 stitches down to 46,800. So I'm saving myself a ton of stitching, and it's like holding my interest because I want to see how it turns out, and I want to see what all these figures look like with the fabric showing through, which has been really fun because like those 3 figures, they all look, you know, sort of different. The little bunny there and birds and a squirrel. So there's, okay, when you're stitching the negative on this, there's, okay, I was interrupted there because someone came to our door and Lenny thought we were being attacked, so. Lenny's our German Shepherd. Okay, I was telling you about this. So when you do a Long Dog Samplers, there's always like back stitching. I don't know if you can see, like in these waves, there's lines going this way that are back stitched, or like up here you can see kind of in the lawn there's back stitching. So when I'm stitching the negative, I needed to find basically a floss that matches the fabric color. So I did that. Here's an example from this page. You can kind of see there, it's got some back stitching there. I tried originally with just 1 strand because I'm stitching the rest of this with 1 strand over 2 fabric threads. Just, let's see, with DMC. The back stitch was not showing up very well with just one strand, so I'm doing 2 strands with the back stitching and just a thread that matches my fabric color. So I think I also did some up here. It's gonna be pretty subtle, I think, when it's all said and done, but it's just supposed to provide a little bit of like shading or just a different tone, you know, to the whole stitching. So I think it's gonna work out just fine. So yeah, it's coming along pretty well, and I think it shouldn't be an issue for me to get 4 pages done this year. If I feel like it, I might work ahead. Just because some years, like, you know, some years get hectic, and that's it. Okay. Next. What is next? Okay. Next, Monday the 22nd was Earth Day. And so I took out World Peace Angel. Is that not focused? World Peace Angel by Lavender and Lace. And I focused on the Earth because Earth Day. I did do a little bit of extra in other spots as well, but here, let's do this. Use my board. Yeah, I did work on finishing up her hair. So her hair is finished, and I put in a couple lines of her gown. So this is where she was when you last saw her, and here she is now. So you can tell that I've put in some work. So her hair is totally finished, like I said, and then this is all earth. This is earth. So I just started focusing on the earth. Where the empty spots are, that's gonna be wings, big wings. See the wings? And the wings will really show up on this fabric. This is 32 count Salem by Color and Cotton, and using all of the called for DMC. There are some specialty threads, like sparkly stuff to go in, but I haven't started that yet. So this is 2/2 if I didn't say that yet. I'm really liking how it's turning out. She's so pretty. And that whole face is going to be 1/1. So my thought, the reason why I went over here to stitch the globe part here, in addition to over here, is because I want to get all of the stitches done around the face, so that once there's no full stitches bordering it, I can go in and do all of the over one stitching, and I won't have a problem with counting or anything. So at least that's my plan, not to have any problems counting. So all right. I stitched this one with a hoop. I just use like a small one, and I don't leave it in. Some of my projects I leave in, which you'll see. Okay, next WIP. For whatever reason, I felt like working on Suffrage Act by Little House Needleworks. Yeah, it's just called Suffrage Act. I started this in 2020 because I thought it would be a good like anniversary piece for Votes for Women, because it was, let's see, 1920 is the date on there. I thought I would just quick stitch it up, but it's actually, there's more stitching in here than you'd think. And I have it on a Q-snap. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really sure what inspired me to take this out, other than I thought it might be kind of an easy one to finish this year. I'm trying to get it done before our next major presidential election, which is a very contentious subject. So these letters at the top, there's so much stitching in those letters. Like, I didn't expect how much stitching would be in those letters, but they're just very large. So I don't know if I will have put I don't know if I will have found a what it looked like before you saw before wish I could talk. I don't know if I will have found a previous photo of where I was when you last saw it, but since I took it out last, I basically added this whole plant. I brought the bricks over to here. I get very bored of stitching these bricks, so that's why I've got a whole bunch of hanging threads here. I had hanging threads up here as well, and I stitched those in. I finally got to a spot where I could start working on the lady, and she has quite a lot of stitches in her dress. This is, what fabric is this? 32 count vintage Stormy Night Lugana. I don't stitch a lot of Lugana. I feel like it's just the weave is a little bit too tight for my liking. My threads tend to fray, and I've used a bigger needle size. I think it has to do with the length of my floss, and I don't know. But it's coming out, and yeah, I wanna try to finish this like this year. I'm trying to finish things, if you haven't noticed. Okay, last WIP to show you is Wilbur by Teresa Kogut. Last time you saw it, and here it is now. So I've put a lot of work into him. He's so cute. I got this pattern as a gift from my friend Debbie. So this, it has, I think, like 13 colors in it or something, and I am just color completing, and I'm finding that it's really motivating to color complete this design. I think I only have 2 colors left to go, and then I'm going to be charting up here. So up here somewhere, I'm going to be charting one of Charlotte's webs. And so I haven't got to that part yet, but I thought I would show you part of my process for customizing something like this. So I have a very specific reference in my mind for what I want this web to look like. I want it to look like it came from the book because, or the movie, because there's an animated movie that I watched so much growing up, and I've watched with Otto lots of times. And then I've read this book to Otto before, and we both really like this story, and it is so sweet. If you haven't read Charlotte's Web, I recommend it. It's a very easy read because it's a children's novel, but it's a story about friendship, and it's just very sweet. So in the original book, it does have illustrations. So I went online to find a PDF version of the book, since all my books are packed away and I don't want to talk about that. So I found a PDF of this book, and I was able to search for the images in that book, and I printed them out for my visual reference. So these are from the book, and it's very easy to find this book online. It was published in like the 50s or something like that. Actually, I can tell you. No, I can't. I didn't print out the credit page. Anyway, the book only has two illustrations of the webs, so it doesn't even have all of the webs. And I can't decide which web I want to stitch, if it's going to be Some Pig, Terrific, Humble, or Radiant. I'm leaning towards Humble or Some Pig. But this is the Some Pig illustration. This is the Terrific illustration. And then you see how like Charlotte is just kind of dangling from the post. I really like that. So I printed out these images as well because I want to use one of these where Charlotte is just dangling down. This is not Wilbur. This is Uncle. So at the state fair, Uncle is the pig next door who is bigger than Wilbur. I won't give away the story. He's bigger than Wilbur and uglier than Wilbur. I showed this to my husband. He goes, "Whoa, I didn't realize how ugly they made Wilbur in that book." And I was like, that's Uncle. He's supposed to be a little bit uglier than Wilbur. So anyway, I will be basing my my design of Charlotte's Web to model after these illustrations, because that's my reference, my mental reference. But yeah, he's so cute. And he's definitely going to be done pretty soon, because I'm very motivated to finish those last two colors of floss. They go pretty quickly. Like, I've been able to stitch like a couple of the colors in one day with a good amount of stitching time. And I also wanted to kind of show you with the Wilbur design, the chart uses symbols that are super similar. Like, at a glance, it can be really tricky to tell the difference between what colors are what. So I took some time to just like highlight the chart, so you can kind of see like I just sat there and hunted for symbols and highlighted the chart that way, and it's made it such a breeze to stitch, and I would highly recommend doing that if you also have that pattern. Okay, that is it for WIPs. Now, I wanted to show you one of my purchases, because remember I told you Strawberry House was stitched on Petite 4 linen. This is 36 count Petite 4 linen. It's wabi sabi fabric. It's this beautiful mid-tone gray. It does look like slightly purple, just the slightest hint of purple, purplish gray. So when I was perusing Kitten Stitcher's website, I saw that she's now offering looking glass. And so I thought I would get a cut of looking glass fabric. This is 40 count looking glass. And I was hoping that it would be similar to Petite 4. It is not really similar. Let me show you them side by side. So you can see here, this wrinkly one is the Petite 4. And the other one is looking glass. And you can see they're kind of similar tones, but this bottom one is definitely more purple. And I like that. When I saw it, I thought it actually reminds me so much of my most favorite fabric, which is Tarnished Silver by Lakeside Linens. And I happen to have some Tarnished Silver by Lakeside Linens to show you. So these Lakeside Linens are from my personal collection. I had them already. It's not a recent purchase, but I just wanted to show you kind of the difference. So Tarnished Silver comes in vintage Tarnished Silver and just regular Tarnished Silver. The vintage is slightly grayer. So this is vintage Tarnished Silver. Okay. And then this is regular Tarnished Silver. The regular is ever so much more rosy. Just the slightest hint of rosiness. This is the regular Tarnished Silver, and this is the vintage. Okay, so you can kind of see that. I'll put them this way too, so you can see it wasn't just a shadow. Like, whoop, that's blowing it out a little bit. So you can see this is the vintage. This is the regular Tarnished Silver. So I really love this rosy one. Now, 40 count looking glass next to the vintage. So this is looking glass, this is vintage. You can see it's a little bit, the looking glass is just slightly grayer, slightly browner, not quite as rosy. And then this is the regular. So regular Tarnished Silver, vintage Tarnished Silver, and looking glass. Okay, so I hope that's helpful to anybody. These are not linens that you can get like, you're gonna have to probably call Needlework stores to see if they have any Lakeside linens in stock, because they're just not widely available. Okay, So then my next purchase kind of goes into my plans a little bit. Stitchville, USA, which is in Minnetonka, Minnesota, is closing, sadly. It was a surprise, I think, also to them, not just to us stitchers, but also to the shop owner. And I'm super disappointed about that because when we moved here, I was pretty excited to be like within driving distance of that store, whereas previously I was not. I was just not within a day trip of that store. So I went to Stitchville. They're closing at the end of May, so they still have a few weeks left. And currently everything is 25% off. She's selling her models, her shop models, just a few at a time. So I'm not really sure when all of them are going to go on sale. There are a few models that I would be interested in having. They don't really have an online feature to their store. So if you are outside of the area, I don't know that you're going to be able to place an order or anything. But if you are within driving distance of Stitchville, it might be worth it for you to, make a last visit. When I went there, I decided to get a handful of silk flosses because they were 25% off, and I can always use silk flosses. And there was a specific project that I wanted to kit up, so that's what I'm going to show you. This is going to be my plan. So I purchased Martha Carr 1838 from Kitten Stitcher, which, by the way, Kitten Stitcher is having a $5 sale. Like, so many items in her shop are $5 right now, this being one of them. And so I would highly recommend running to Kitten Stitcher's website and seeing what she has on sale. She's also got tons of awesome stuff in her shop, and I always try to support her store when I need some stitching stuff. But I saw this sampler and I thought it might be a good one to stitch for my son's new school district. So a few years ago, if you've been with me for long enough, you might remember that I stitched a sampler. I stitched Virgil L. Pierce for auto starting school, like for starting kindergarten. And I'll just show it to you quick because I brought it up here. I thought you might want to see it. Let me get this ready. So when I was okay. So I just covered up our location where we were. So basically, this is Virgil L. Pierce. I customized it with my son's name, and I put over one the name of his elementary school. You can see I just put elementary there. So the name of his elementary school, the town and state where we were living, and then I put the first year of his kindergarten, thinking that I might do like a sampler. In my head, I was like, oh, I'll do a sampler every year to commemorate his every single year of school. And I didn't really like connect the dots that would mean I would need to do 12 samplers or more if he goes to college. And it's like, okay, I'm not really going to do that. So now my dilemma is, do I unpick this 2 and put a 3, because that's when we left the school district. Like, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Either that or I could add 2022 to 23 down here at the bottom. I could add it that year. I don't know. If you have any ideas or thoughts about that, let me know what you think. I hate unpicking things, especially when it's over 1, but I don't know, it might just make more sense. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, this might be a good companion piece for that other one. Yellow is Otto's most favorite color, and I liked that this building was white, just like this one. So I just thought that might be pretty cute to go together. So when I was at Stitchville, I didn't have the floss list in front of me. This is charted for, you have an option of DMC, Cosmo, Avera Soie, and NPI. So, but I didn't have my floss list in front of me, so I just had the cover photo to go by. So I picked up a handful of silk flossos, and I think that these are gonna look really good together. Okay, so I picked up these silks, and while I was there in the store, I went to their fabric section and I just looked through some of the fabrics they had, and I would not have picked this linen if I had not been there in person to see, you know, what the floss toss looked like. So this is the linen that I picked up. I like the way that the white is going to, you know, really just pop off the fabric. And then I liked the way these yellows looked. This blue I actually added, yeah. I added those later. Okay, so this linen is 36 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. And I just wouldn't have picked it up if I hadn't seen it in person and been able to do the floss toss in person. So I am pretty sad that Stitchville is closing, because now I still don't have a local needlework shop once Stitchville is closed officially. So I'm pretty bummed about that. But I think that this is going to look pretty good, and I'm going to start this pretty soon, and I can't decide if I'm going to do this alphabet or if I'm going to replace the words. For sure, I'm going to add Otto's name again, and but his name can go down here in the cartouche. See, that's where Martha Carr put her information there in yellow, so I think I'm gonna put Otto's name there. And then here, I might just put the name of his school or something. I don't know. So those are my thoughts and plans about that. If you have any thoughts at all about what to do with that, please let me know. Okay, another plan that I have. Dana from Gemstone Stitches and I are going to start the annual border by the drawn thread together, and we're going to start this on May 5th. That's what it looks like. The words inside say, one is nearer God's heart in a garden than anywhere else on earth. I'm stitching this sort of with my grandma in mind, because my grandma is a master gardener, and you know, that's one of my main memories of going to their house, you know, just throughout my childhood, is being able to walk through her flower gardens. And her and my grandpa also had like just a huge vegetable garden. They were both master gardeners. They went through the master gardener class. So I bought this as a kit from the Drawn Thread website, and it comes with all of the beads that you need. It comes with all of the floss that you need on these handy cards, and it lists the Dinky Dye's number, but it doesn't list the name of the floss, which I think is interesting. But it comes with this natural. It's a natural linen, which is fine. But I've already started this. I've abandoned it. This is my UFO. I'm not doing it on this linen, but I wanted to do it as called for so that I wouldn't run out of floss, and it's called for 1 strand over 2 linen threads on 32 count raw, natural raw linen, and I just don't care for the way it looks. In the video, you can actually see it a lot better than you can in in person. So this is my UFO, and I decided to replace the linen with 32 count French latte linen, which is just slightly yellower. And I'm gonna like this a lot better with the greens. So it's kind of my floss toss there. Let's see. I think it'll look pretty good. And I'm gonna do 2 strands over 2. So that is my plan. That's my start. We're going to start that together on May 5th. And yeah, that's exciting. So that's plan. Okay, what else? I've got two more plans to share with you. So one plan is regarding my birthday this year. I am turning 40 this year in September. It's a little crazy. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I don't mind getting older. Like that's not what I'm wrapping my head around. It's just, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. So anyway, my 40th birthday is coming up in September, and I've been like trying to think about how do I want to commemorate it with my cross stitching, because that's what we have to do as people obsessed with cross stitching. And I decided I'm going to stitch this sampler called the Francis Arielt sampler. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. AYRAULT is how it's spelled. This is what it looks like. It's charted by the Exemplary. So the reason I am choosing this sampler is because Francis and I are birthday twins, which is so, I don't know, it's so exciting. I don't know, I only know one other person who shares my birthday. We went to grade school together, and we haven't really kept in touch. So, I mean, I'm just very excited that we're birthday twins. So her sampler is just initials of her family members. And when you order this from the Exemplary, I ordered from the Exemplary. They have an Etsy shop, so I'll link it below in case you're interested in seeing what they have to offer. But when you order from the Exemplary, they don't offer just the chart. You have to buy a kit. And so I had to buy the kit. It comes with this raw looking see-through linen and a whole bunch of dusty DMC colors. The colors are dusty, not the threads themselves. I don't know if I will use any of this. I might just kit it up from my own collection. I know for sure I'm not going to use the linen. I just don't care for this linen that's included. I think I did use I selected 40 count. So when you order from their shop, they give you options of what linens you want to purchase, but it's not like you can just choose any linen. It's whatever linen they decided to use in their model, but you just get to choose the count. So I chose 40 count, and I am probably going to stitch this on 40 count, I think. And the other thing I haven't decided is, do I want to stitch it exactly the way Frances stitched hers with all of her family members, or do I want to rechart and do my own family members? As I said that out loud, I was like, that's a lot of work. And I'm already planning to do that with one of my samplers that I haven't worked on in a long time. So I think I'm probably just going to stitch this exactly the way it is because she's my birthday twin. She lived until she was 80 years old. Oh, okay. So she was born September 23rd, 1718. So a long time ago, in the 1700s. And we're birthday twins that far removed. I mean, that's just, it's so exciting to me. I don't know why. It just is. And then she lived until she was 80. She was one of 12 children. I mean, what a life that must have been. So these are birthday plans for September. And yeah, I just thought I would throw that out there because I'm thinking about it. And okay, last plan to share with you, and I keep forgetting to share this plan with you. I am going to StitchCon this year. I'm going to StitchCon. I'm going to Weekend B. Those are the only dates that worked for me. And I signed up for it last year. It was just kind of a whirlwind. So I quick signed up for it, threw my name on the list. I also put my sister's name on the wait list, and so she also got in. So me and my sister are going to StitchCon together. We're going to be at Weekend B. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty excited. I haven't fully thought out like what are my plans for StitchCon, like what do I want to bring. If you're going to be at Weekend B, and if you have any requests of like what finishes you want me to bring, let me know, because I'm just not really sure what I want to bring. But we are driving, so size is not an issue as far as what I should bring. So I don't know. I just thought it's fun. It's coming up. It's gonna be here sooner than I expected, really. I don't know where time is gone. But yeah, if you're gonna be at StitchCon Weekend B, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know that I'm gonna meet some friends there, and I already know of one other stitcher. I don't know if she's like said anything, so I'm not going to talk about that, I guess, yet, until she says what weekend she's going. So I'm just looking around. Dudley's saying hello. Did I tell you Dudley had a birthday this month? He turned 18. So he's old. Okay. I'm just looking around, checking my notes. I'm pretty sure I got everything. So thanks for thanks for watching today. Thanks for sticking with me here through all these. Okay, do you want to see Dudley? I know. Okay, here's Dudley. Here's my old boy. He's definitely, he's looking and feeling his age. I will have to say that. So, okay. I think that is all that I have to share with you today. So, it was a lot. Thanks for hanging in there. And I hope that if you like something, anything that you saw in my video, I hope that you will subscribe. I invite you to do that now if you haven't already. I don't have a strict posting schedule. Not at this time in my life. I just can't hold myself to a strict schedule. So I post when I can, and that's it. So that's all. Okay, so I hope everyone's doing okay, and I'll see you again hopefully in about a month or so. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you're stitching on. Let me know if you have any thoughts on what I should do with those plans, and that's it. Okay, take care everyone.